Do you ever ask yourself a question that you think is gonna have a mundane or outright boring answer, but then you look into it and it's actually fascinating how complex the answer really is? That's what today's video is. For today's video, all I wanted to do was ask myself a rather simple sounding question. Inspired through a video posted by Uber, I wanted to know what really is the longest possible jump that you can do in Minecraft. Is it the 18 blocks that they show off? Is it something more? Well, that all depends on what you consider to be the longest jump. Do we only count jumps that have no outside assistance? What even counts as outside assistance? Is getting a running start cheating, or running and jumping? What about getting a speed assist from jumping on ice? What happens when we add potion effects? I mean, in Uber's video, he got hit by a cactus in midair on a server with a high ping so that he could receive the jump boost at the most optimal time. If we're including the assistance of outside forces like this, what other forces could propel us further? Yeah, you see how this question gets really complicated really quickly? How would you like to jump over 50 blocks without levitation or TNT in Minecraft? Yeah, this video is going to be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and let's jump right into it. So starting off, on screen throughout this video will be a speedometer, which works via a data pack that I'll have linked in the description down below. On the left side, your speed in 2 dimensions, and on the right side, including the y-axis, so the 3rd dimension. In order to test this out properly, I'm going to divide this experiment into a few different schools of thought. 1. How far can you jump with no outside assistance? 2. What happens when you add effects, excluding levitation? And 3. What happens when you then add outside assistance, excluding TNT? And then number 4, well, you'll see. So let's get started with no outside assistance jumps. Throughout all of these experiments, our solemn goal is to accelerate to the highest possible speed before performing the jump, which means we need to know what causes us to go faster prior to the jump. In a nutshell, the first and main thing is jumping. Every time we perform a jump while sprinting, we gain a little bit of speed, which takes a few moments to trickle off. The more times per second that we can jump, the faster and faster we'll go. Now, I think most of us are aware that the longest open-air sprint jump that you can comfortably perform is just over 4 blocks. But here's the thing, what does no outside assistance really mean? If we're just straight up running and jumping, why not give ourselves the best possible advantage and sprint jump as fast as we can in the tightest corridor that we can, which is a 2-block high corridor with trapdoors right above our heads. With all of that in play, we can pretty easily perform a 5-block jump. But let's keep going. No outside assistance just means no interaction with other entities or damage sources. The most efficient way to gain speed with this limitation is actually running and jumping on ice, because your speed when you land diminishes more slowly, causing your overall speed to be higher the more and more that you jump. So what happens when we run and jump on ice, specifically blue ice, which is barely faster, inside of a tunnel, spamming the spacebar as fast as we can, in my case 10 times per second. Well, now, instead of being limited to a 5-block jump, we can now execute a 9-block jump. As far as a jump done without any outside assistance is concerned, this was the farthest I was able to get. However, with a lot of luck, I think a 10-block jump might be possible. So, alright, let's crank this experiment up a notch. So, part 2. What happens when we add effects and enchantments into the mix? Within Minecraft 1.16, we got a new enchantment called Soul Speed, which allows us to run a lot faster on soul sand. I wanted to bring this up because I knew people were gonna ask about it, but the speed we get with this combination is far slower than just running and jumping on blue ice, so we'll stick with that. What this leaves us with is Speed 2, Jump Boost 2, and Slow Falling 1, which are all the highest level effects obtainable in survival Minecraft. Starting with Speed 2, our maximum speed goes from 26.5 meters per second to about 28.5 meters per second, allowing us to comfortably soar through a 10-block jump. And then, after adding on Jump Boost 2, our speed doesn't increase at all, but our jump distance certainly does, allowing for us to comfortably clear a 12-block jump, with 13 feeling like it might be barely possible. And finally, there's Slow Falling 1, which, when added onto the other two effects, extends our jump range to 16 blocks, with 17 feeling entirely possible maybe once every 500 jumps or so. From this point on, I've got to be honest with you, things are going to get really crazy. For part 3, we're going to be adding the assistance of damage boosting, excluding TNT. This leaves us with a few options. The easy route is to mimic Uber's video and get a damage boost from a cactus. Or we can do things the hard way and introduce the assistance of Punch 2 arrows, which is what we're gonna do. But there's a problem. So far as I could find, there is no way to directly summon Punch 2 arrows in Minecraft. There's no NBT related information within the flying arrow to indicate any enchantments that might be affecting it. There are potion tipped arrows within the game, but this doesn't help us because none of them involve having additional knockback, which is an item enchantment. So what do we do about this? Well, the solution is actually pretty easy and way more fun. Summon in a bunch of invincible skeletons, all wielding a Punch 2 bow, and have them hit each other with arrows. Once they're all mad at each other, enable a command block contraption that teleports all arrows to the entrance of the tunnel, and then modifies their rotation and speed so they fly wherever we want, but no faster than a normal bow would be able to shoot them. And after hours and hours of extensive trial and error, here's what happened next. I can only describe what transpires from this point on as pure and total chaos. It took me about 5 hours to precisely pinpoint not only what angle I should be directing the arrows to, but then how many times I could even get hit in the air in a single jump. At first, all I was going for was the most optimal single damage boost, but then I realized pretty quickly, if the first arrow hits me just right, it'll propel me multiple blocks upwards, allowing for multiple mid-air damage boosts, all with the Punch 2 effect applied. And then, the real discovery. Not only can we take advantage of multiple damage boosts in midair, we can also travel faster along the ice path if we get hit by a Punch 2 arrow right before jumping. So instead of jumping with our speed at 28.5 meters per second, we leave the ice path at over 38 meters per second. Coupled with all of our other prior effects and the assistance of 4 total damage boosts, I was able to complete a 69 block jump. This jump is possible in unmodified survival Minecraft. So is that the final answer? 69 blocks? No. What even is a jump? To me, a jump is having your feet leave the ground followed by a landing. In between, anything goes. So that begs the final question. If we're including the damage boost arrows, why not include TNT? I mean, I wonder how far a TNT-assisted jump could go. Yeah, there's no way to definitively figure that one out. But since you're obviously a curious one, I tried it anyways with my old school 1.8 TNT cannon, and I made it over 3,000 blocks away from the cannon using just potions and TNT. So yeah, this video was obviously a little bit silly, but in the end, I learned that this is actually a pretty silly question to ask. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the way in which I conducted this experiment. Now, before you go, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this one. About 80% of you who watch my videos are unsubscribed, so if you'd like to, it would really help out myself, the channel, and the video quite a lot. But anyways guys, I hope you all enjoyed. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.